YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to Paul's Wrath. My name is JD, and today we're here with our playthrough of Pokemon Blue to figure out the best Psychic-type Pokemon is in Generation 1. We started this playthrough last week with Mewtwo. Mewtwo got the best time I've ever gotten in a Pokemon Blue challenge. Today we're going to play through the Pokemon I think will come in second in this challenge, and that Pokemon is Alakazam, the Psy Pokemon. Let's go and look at his stats real quick, and then we'll dive into the playthrough. HP is 55, Attack is 50, Defense is 45, Speed is 120, and Special is 135. Speed and Special are absolutely fantastic with this Pokemon. Some of the highest stats in these categories in the game. Everything else is meh, but those two things are absolutely amazing. That's why I think this Pokemon will do very well, as well as this Pokemon usually does very well in general in this game. Let's go ahead and dive into the first battle of the game. It's against our rival. Rival's name is Like and Sub, as per tradition, and we named our Pokemon Houdini. We gave him a Squirtle. There's not really a great option for this Pokemon. Actually, with this Pokemon, we don't get access to Thunderbolt, so Squirtle is actually a decent option, and we have to deal with the fact that later in the game, our rival is going to have Executor and Execute, and now we're going to move right on and face our second rival battle. Second rival battle is on the way to like Victory Road. This will not need to be done in the second playthrough, so we're going to get a faster time second playthrough because this can be avoided. But we're going to three-shot the Pidgey. We actually take a lot of damage from the Pidgey. That was not fun. But he goes for Tail Whip, and we get a critical hit, knock it out. And that's a good win. We're at level 9 already, and we haven't even faced any of the bug catchers. This is why I think we can just skip right through and go right to Brock and get so much faster time. We can probably get Brock in like 2 minutes with this Pokemon. A couple things about this Pokemon. We are just a mono Psychic type. Psychic type. It's very good in Generation 1, so that's great to have for this Pokemon. The other thing about this Pokemon is we have a really good critical hit rate. Because of how fast we are, we got 23.44% of the time we will crit. That's almost 1 out of every 4 moves we will critical hit. And we're Psychic type, so we don't have anything that we're weak to in this game. We are pretty frail, so that's the one downside, is any physical moves will do a lot to us. However, there's nothing that can do really a lot of damage to us except for bug moves, but there's really only 2 bug moves in the game, and we don't have to deal with one of them, because we don't deal with any Beedrill. And then the last thing is we are in a medium slow growth rate, which is the best growth rate for a game. And now we're facing the Million Light Years Trainer. Million Light Years Trainer is going to come out with a Diglett. We knock it out, and we're going to knock out the Sandshrew in 2 hits. Real quick, our starting move pool is Confusion, Teleport, and Disable. Disable is not really useful, but Teleport's great because actually we can move around very fast in the early game. And then Confusion, very good move to have as well because we can one-shot the Geodude, and we can two-shot the Onix. Onix isn't going to do that much to us. We get the knockout, get the win over Brock. Super easy, barely inconvenience. Wakanda forever! We beat Brock, and we move right on to Mount Moon. Now, I don't usually show some battles, but these Psychic types, the first 2 at least, have been flying through this game. And if I just cut out some of these other battles that I show, just to kind of have some more content, and I just show the landmark fights, this video would be very fast. And I want to give a little bit more content, a little bit more talking. So right now, we're facing the Super Duper Nerd that's protecting his fossils. We one-shot the Grimer, one-shot the Voltorb, and we one-shot the Popping. They are weak to Psychic moves. Confusion is a fantastic move to have early in the game. We get the Dome Fossil. All help the Dome Fossil. I know if I didn't tell you, you're going to ask now. Think of it. Go ahead and ask. Comments great for YouTube algorithm. Shout out to Mah-Dry-Bread. And now we're facing Misty. It's 6 minutes and 46 seconds as we take on Misty. We're going to 2-hit to Staryu. Starmie is not going to be so easy because Starmie is a Psychic type as well, so Confusion's not going to do too much. We should probably just stick with Confusion though, because we are very high on our special, so we probably still do a lot of damage, but we get the win nonetheless. We beat we beat Misty, and now we're going to move right on. We're going to heal really quick, and then we're going to grab our Rare Candy. Then we're going to take on our third rival battle on Nugget Bridge. If you don't notice, Rare Candy's right there. Very good. And now we're going to go take on our rival. Kind of save right here. We probably don't even need to save in this battle, but you just never know. I don't want to take a reset and have to black out and lose half my money. Now we're going to take on Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto comes out. Our Confusion on Pidgeotto is going to be a 2-hit. Quick Attack's not great because it hits us pretty hard and actually got a critical hit on it, but we'll take that over getting Sand Attack any day. Confusion on the Rattata, very good. And Squirtle comes out. Did we get a critical hit? We do, back-to-back critical hits. So we beat our rival and move right on to the SSN. Now the SSN, there are some choices we got to make here. We do need a physical move, and physical moves aren't really great for this Pokemon. That is the thing. However, we do need a physical move because we have to take on other Psychic Pokemon, especially in one specific gym. So Mega Punch is not where it's at. And Mega Punch is not a great move. So we're going to move on from Mega Punch, and we're going to get this move, and this move is Body Slam. Body Slam is going to go ahead and be our bread and butter when it comes to physical attacks. Confusion will be upgraded eventually to Psychic, and we're going to go ahead and go for Confusion on the Pidgeotto. That's a one-shot, very good. And now we're going to get Psybeam. So there's another upgrade to Confusion. We're going to get rid of Mega Punch and keep Confusion and Psybeam. Now with this Pokemon, we don't have quite the versatility that Mewtwo had. Mewtwo had access, I think it could use Bubble Beam. It also could use Thunderbolt. We don't get that luxury of this Pokemon. We do get access to Dig. I didn't add Dig for this Pokemon. I didn't think it was necessary. Because everything that we can hit with Dig that's super effective, we can just hit with Psychic or Confusion or whatever and be super effective. But we beat our rival, and we move right on to Lieutenant Surge. Lieutenant Surge is the electric gym leader, and Psybeam's going to one-shot the Voltorb. I think it's going to one-shot everything, honestly. We're very high level right now. We can skip so much stuff and be coming into this battle probably at level 24, 25, and save so much time. We're only at 13 minutes and some odd seconds, and now we're in Rock Tunnel. We're facing Boomer the Hiker, and this will be a clean sweep as well. Psybeam's going to one-shot the Geodude. It's going to one-shot the second Geodude, and the Gravel's going to go down to one Psybeam. We sweep them, clean sweep, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Now we're going to add another move, which is Recover. Recover is actually a great move to have with this Pokemon, but we're going to move right on to Celadon City. There are a lot of quality of life improvements you can get as soon as you get to Celadon City. The first thing we did was we grabbed a water and went and got Psychic from Mr. Psychic, and Psychic is a fantastic move. 90 base power, 135 with stab, and it goes off our special attack stat, which is absolutely amazing. This move just obliterates the game. There are some things it's not good against. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But the other things we can do is you can go get Fly, you can get a PP up, which we did. Now Psychic has 12 power points rather than 10. We're going to get another one here in a minute, because when you go into the Rocket Game Corner, you can get another power PP up, so that's what we're going to use that for. One thing I want to talk about really quick is this Pokemon's lack of move versatility. It's the only real weakness this Pokemon has. If you look at our level up move pool, we only have Psychic moves and normal moves, and the normal moves aren't even an attacking move. It's Disable and Recover, and I did not know until this very moment that Recover was a normal move. I thought this move was Psychic, so that's really interesting. Did not know that. I never paid it. I don't think I've actually had other Pokemon I've had Recover, so maybe that's why I didn't know that. I think Psychic Pokemon are the only one that get Recover, but it is what it is. But if you look at its TM move pool, we have Mega Punch, Mega Kick, Body Slam, Takedown, Double Edge, Hyper Beam. All of them are normal type. And we have a little bit of fighting type moves, but these aren't really versatility here. They're not really useful. The only one that was useful we used for a little bit was Seismic Toss, and that's a set damage move. It goes off 1 damage per level. And then we have Dig. That's really the only other one. And I've concluded that the only reason this Pokemon has Dig is because it has spoons. There are Pokemon like Nidoking and Nidoqueen that don't get access to Dig, that are ground type Pokemon, but somehow this Pokemon has it. And hey, if they just gave Nidoking and Nidoqueen a spoon, they probably could have done it as well. But the lack of versatility is a problem, and you're going to see that because the next Pokemon we're facing right now is Execute. And Execute is a problem for this Pokemon because they don't have anything great to knock it out. Right now, we're a higher level, so Psychic does a decent amount of damage to it. So it doesn't look like it's that big a problem, but eventually Execute will turn into an Executor, and our rival has that. That is the one trade-off that's going to happen when I do the Mewtwo run again, is Mewtwo's going to have to face Executor rather than Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur's weak to it. So now we're facing Erica, and I made the mistake of getting cute and trying to go for Psybeam to get the one-shot here, but Psybeam's not enough for a one-shot, so we need to go for Psychic on the Victory Bell. Tangela will not be a one-shot either. I probably could have gone for Psybeam and just got it like a 2-hit on Tangela here, and then 1 hit on the Vileplume. Very good. I was trying to save power points. I didn't want to go back and heal before we go take on the Rocket Game Corner, but we were able to conserve it and use Psybeam and Body Slam to get through the Rocket Game Corner. And now we're facing Giovanni number 1. Onyx goes down to 1 Psychic, and then Rhyhorn goes down to 1 Psychic, and Kangaskhan goes down to 1 Psychic. Probably could have used Psybeam, but I don't want Kangaskhan to maybe potentially crit on Comet Punch and knock me out. We are a feral Pokemon after all. And we're going to grab the Potion, and we're going to grab the Silph Scope and head right to Pokemon Tower and face our rival. Pidgeotto comes out. Psychic will knock out the Pidgeotto in 1 hit. Very good. Growlithe comes out next. Psychic on the Growlithe. Very good. Execute. Like I said, Execute's a problem. Barrage does a decent amount of damage to us, but we get a 2-shot, but we're not going to have 2 shots forever. We should have gone for Body Slam on Kadabra. I don't know why we didn't go for Body Slam on Kadabra. It's frailed with physical moves, and then Psychic 1-shots War Turtle. So we beat our rival pretty easy, and we're going to move right on to Koga's Gym. Now, Koga's Gym actually isn't the problem. It's the trainers around Koga that are the problem. They all have Psychic-type Pokemon for some reason. But we're going to clean sweep this entire gym. I'm not even going to really finish my sentence. We're going to beat this whole gym. We're going to one-shot everything. We're not going to get cute and go for Psybeam. Just go for Psychic, making a foregone conclusion. Psychic knocks out. We don't want to screw up and not knock out the Weezing. He go for self-destruct and we get a reset. So we don't want to do that. We get a pretty clean sweep over Koga and move right on and face Blaine's Gym. Now, I thought it'd be funny here to showcase that Tombstoner. And if you ever watch Gym Leader Matt, he has like Tombstoner, brother. Like from, I guess it's Macho Man. I thought it'd be funny, and we're going to beat Blaine here, so go ahead and watch it. I thought it'd be funny, like in future generations, like maybe like generation 10 or 11 or something, they actually come out with a TM called Tombstoner, and that really would throw people off. I think it'd be a great inside joke, and then old heads would be like, "There's no such thing as Tombstoner," and young heads would be like, "Yeah, there is. It's in the new game." We beat Blaine. Blaine was not an issue. Psychic basically obliterates him. Actually, what's crazy is we are 7 levels lower than Arcanine. We almost one-shot Arcanine. But now we move on to our 6th rival in Silphco, and he leads out with a Pidgeot. 1-shot on the Pidgeot, 1-shot on the Growlithe, and again, execute, is a problem. Body Slam looks like it's going to be a 3-shot. And because we can't knock this thing out easy, it paralyzes us. So this battle could be pretty bad. However, the RNG gods shine upon us. We're not going to reflect, by the way. And we're going to continue to hit through all this. Body Slam is going to be a 2-shot on the Alakazam. And I don't think at all this paralysis stops us from hitting 1 bit. And we get a side beam knockout, very good. We beat our rival. We really take no damage there, but it could have been bad. It could have been bad because we got paralyzed. It really makes the battle go to chance. But we powered through the paralysis, and now we're facing Giovanni number 2, 2 Giovanni. Nidorino goes down to 1 Psychic. Kangaskdan goes down to 1 Psychic. Rhyhorn goes down to 1 Psychic. And the last Pokemon is Nidoqueen. It's going to go down to 1 Psychic as well. Very clean sweep over Giovanni. He's going to go and vanish. And we're going to go and teleport over here to face Sabrina. Sabrina and her whip. She is a Psychic Specialist. And we really don't have anything great against her as well. But some Psychic Pokemon are frail, just like Abra. Body Slam's a 1-shot. We do get a critical hit, so I don't know if that mattered on this. I think it did, but we don't know. It might have just been enough because it's so frail. And we're going to get a 1-shot on the Venomoth. And an Alakazam, we'll go back to Body Slam. And it's going to be a 2-shot. It does heal, get a little bit of a healing loop there. But we get the knockout, get the win over Sabrina and her whip. And we're going to move right on to the final gym leader, the 8th gym leader of the game. The final Giovanni fight, 3 Giovanni. We're going to save right before it, you just never know. And we're going to go ahead and face Giovanni. We're at 30 minutes and 26 seconds entering this battle, so we're at a breakneck pace. And we're going to go ahead and hit Psychic on the Rhyhorn, very good. Psychic on the Dugtrio, very good. We are just going to spam Psychic, and we're going to obliterate this entire team. These next 2 Pokemon are Poison types, so they're very easily 1-shot, and Rhydon has very low special, and we have a very high stab special. We knock out Giovanni, we beat Giovanni, and we're progress right on to our penultimate rival battle right before the Elite Four, and he leads out with a Pidgeot. Pidgeot comes out, and we're going to go for Psychic on the Pidgeot. It's not a 1-shot. We're at that point where we're actually kind of just barely at the level of our opposition. Now we knock out the Rhyhorn in 1 hit. We knock out the Growlithe in 1 hit. Very good. Execute. We're going to go for Psychic. It looks like it will be a 2-shot. It does Leech Seed us. That's not great, but as long as we're not taking too much damage, it's not the end of the world. Psychic does a lot because it crits to us, but we get a crit on Body Slam, which is great. I don't think we can survive another critical hit Psychic. And it looks like we're going to 2-hit the Blastoise. We beat him, we beat our rival, we knock it out, and we move right on to the Elite Four. We are at the Pokemon League and about to take on the Elite Four, but first thing we want to do is look at our stats and our moves. Stats of this Pokemon are as follows: 110 in attack, defense is 104, speed is 194, and special is 213. That's our out-of-battle stats. Our in-battle stats, where we have badges that give us a boost. Attack's 123, defense is 117, speed is 218, and special is 239. We're going to go ahead and look at the move pool of this Pokemon, and it's Psychic, Mimic, Body Slam, and Recover. I'm pretty sure this is going to stay exactly the same as it is right now throughout the entire Elite Four. Let's dive into this bad boy. First member of Elite Four is Lorelei. She is an Ice Specialist. She leads out with a Dugong Gong Gong. Now, she's not really too much of a problem. We don't have a great move for her. Psychic will 2-shot the Dugong. So we go for Psychic. It goes for Roar Beam. We tank it pretty well because we have high special, so we don't get hit very bad. And Cloyster has very low special, so it's a 1-shot. So now we're going to mimic Amnesia. And what Amnesia does is every time you use it, it ups your special attack, or special, I should say, your special stat by 2 stages. So look at our special, 958, very high. And so now we're going to go ahead and use Psychic and obliterate the rest of this team. Now here's the one downside to this Pokemon. Critical hit rates actually skip over all your stat modifications. Where these would be 1-shots easily, it makes this battle more to chance. What could have happened there is Jinx or Lapras could have both froze us. Ice Punch or Blizzard could have froze us. And also Lapras could have paralyzed us with Body Slam. Is that likely? We'd probably still power through and win if we get paralyzed. But if we would have got frozen, we could have lost there. So that's the one downside to critical hits, is they skip over all your stat modifications. If you don't boost your stats, they're great to have. Like critical hit right there. It's great to have because it actually gives you more than you expected to get out of the move. But when you stat modify and you badge boost, it skips over all those things. We hit the Onix, and we're going to hit the Machamp. We don't even heal. We didn't do anything going into this. We just ran right to Bruno and faced him. We probably could have done the same thing. We just needed to use a Elixir, and restore some power points. And if you saw there, I have 3 rare candies left, and it's actually strategic. We're going to obliterate Agatha. We're going to one-shot everything on Agatha's team, so don't even worry about that. But what I do is I save the rare candies, and sometimes in battle, you want a badge boost. But if you level up in the middle of that battle, you lose your badge boost. And in the last Pokemon, you don't have all the stat modifications. But if I give a rare candy right before that, it resets the experience counter. So usually it prevents us from level up in the middle of the battle. We will level up on the last Pokemon. So it's strategic in that regard. But right now I want to go ahead and just give 2 of these because I want to give a nice little boost to my stats and everything. And we'll go ahead and Elixir, very good. And now we can just move right on, save, and we're going to face Lance. Lance is the Dragon Master of the Elite Four, and he leads out with a Gyarados. We don't have a great move for Gyarados, so we're going to go for Psychic, and we're going to hit by Hydro Pump. We have Great Special, doesn't do that much damage. Now we're going to go ahead and Mimic Agility, and Agility 1, Agility 2. It ups our speed, but it actually does the, badge boost glitch. And so we almost get knocked out here, but now I think we can just clean sweep with Psychic. Now here's where it can go bad. We could potentially, critical hit and not get a knockout with Psychic, and we can get hit by something. But Recover is a great move, because now we're basically at full health, and Psychic's a one-shot on the Aerodactyl, and Dragonite is a one-shot as well. So that's kind of the nice part about having Recover, is we got down to low health, we were able to badge boost, we were able to recover pretty much to full health, and now we can go ahead and take on our final battle of the game, which is our rival, which is the champion. This is what we need for it's what we've been fighting for in this entire game. We're at 34 minutes and 37 seconds for saving, and we're going to go ahead and take on our rival. He's going to come out with a Pidgeot. Like I said, we do not have a great move for Pidgeot. Psychic does decent, but Pidgeot actually has decent special, so it actually counters it pretty well. But we get a one-shot. That actually surprised me. And Psychic on the Alakazam, we shouldn't have done for Psychic. What we should have done is Body Slam. Very good. Goes for Psychic. So we got a lot of damage, decent amount of damage, because he critical hit on both of those moves. So we're going to recover on the Rhydon. And what we hope here is Rhydon goes for either Tail Whip or it goes for Leer. Because what that does, it lowers our defense stat, which is already low, but it will up our other stats around it. We probably should have gone for Broken, gone for attacks, but I'm trying to get a little bit more boost here, just to make it so Executor is not as difficult as it usually is going to be. Stop hitting Fury Attack, you stupid Rhydon. Stop hitting Fury Attack. Just hit Leer. Just hit Leer or Tail Whip. Come on. Yeah, this is getting annoying, and I'm not really running out of power points on Recover, but we're getting there. Psychic is a one-shot on the Rhydon. Arcanine comes out. Psychic, is it a one-shot? It is not. It got close, though, and Ember does very little. That is a horrible move to have in the Elite Four, by the way. Arcanine has Ember. Wow. And look how little damage that Body Slam actually does Executor, so looks like it's going to be a 3 or 4 shot. And right now, he could have gone for Hypnosis or Stomp and done a lot more damage to me, but he doesn't. And so we hit Body Slam on the Blast Woods because we're dumb and we hit the wrong move, but we do get the knockout, we do get the win, level up to level 66, and we beat this game at 36 minutes on the dot. This Pokemon has the second fastest time I've ever had in Pokemon Blue. It is amazing. This Pokemon did very good. I mean, we could probably do this at a much lower level. We could do this probably at level 62, 63 maybe even low 61. So there's a lot of stuff I can skip, and a lot of time can be saved with this Pokemon. So I'm just thinking about the optimized playthrough, the second playthrough I should say, and there's a lot of pluses that we can add to this Pokemon. We can definitely get this down. I think if we didn't play Mewtwo ever again, I think we can get it lower than what Mewtwo has, and he has like 34 minutes and some odd seconds. It's actually, I have the exact amount. Hold on, 2 seconds. I'll tell you exactly what he has. 34 minutes and 29 seconds is what Mewtwo has. I'm pretty sure we can save a minute and a half off of this. We can save about a minute and a half off of this by not facing our second rival battle. And just going right for Bug Forest. That's probably right there about a minute of time we can save by not going through that battle. But let's go ahead and look at the tier list. As I said earlier, I adjusted the tier list. If you didn't see it the last few weeks, I adjusted the tier list. I had a tier list. It was good. I liked it. But they were getting kind of squished up, and I didn't have room for the Psychic types, the normal types, or the Water types, the types that are coming up. And I wanted to make sure I had room for that. So I went ahead and redid it. I made like an even a better tier than I had before by making the SS tier anything under 38 minutes, which I might even make a God tier and do this again and have anything under 35 minutes, like with Mewtwo, and I think potentially this Pokemon can get it. But where does that put Alakazam? That puts Alakazam right there, right behind Mewtwo, right in front of Nidoking, and puts it right there. So yeah, the Psychic-type Pokemon so far are having a very good showing in this challenge, because the Psychic-type Pokemon are 1 and 2 so far in this challenge. And I suspect that the rest of the Psychic types are pretty much going to be an S or A tier finish as well, but you don't know until we do the playthrough, so that's kind of the thing about this. But let me know what you think about this. There's a couple other things I want to talk about real quick, and then we'll finish up the video. If you made it this far, it'd be amazing for 2 things. Well, 3 things, I guess. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you like this video, it gets out to more people that are like-minded and have similar, the algorithm has similar views that you have, gets out to more people who are like-minded. Commenting does the same thing. And then if you subscribe, it tells YouTube you're willing to come back and watch my videos. And like I said, I got this finishing up. I got the Water and Normal type I got to finish up. I'm almost done with all of Generation 1. The only thing I might do after that is like maybe some like what-if challenges and team challenges. That's all I can think of to do in Generation 1. I've pretty much spent Generation 1. I might play Pokemon Yellow. I've considered that. People like Pokemon Yellow. I didn't play it a lot as a kid. I always played Pokemon Blue. That's why I've gravitated to Blue. when it comes to doing my playthroughs. Plus, everyone else plays yellow, and I'm just trying to be a little bit different. But the other thing is, we're going to be playing Emerald. As soon as we get done with Pokemon Blue, we're going to start playing Emerald, and I'm very excited about that. Emerald is my favorite Pokemon game with an asterisk next to it. I haven't played it that much. I didn't play it in my youth. I didn't play a lot of it in my youth. I only played like Pokemon Blue and Crystal. I'm sorry, Blue and Silver. So yeah. But this Pokemon, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We have 2 videos coming out next week. The next video, next Friday, I should say, is Mew. Mew is going to be a Pokemon I think will land right up there. I don't know if it'll be in the SS tier. Mew's kind of difficult to start the game with because you only have Pound. However, there are some definite optimizations with Mew. Mew can learn every team in the game and every stat's 100 across the board. So it's very powerful in that regard. It just starts off pretty weird. So you're automatically starting at a deficit with Mew. However, I've watched a video by Scott's Thoughts where him and a bunch of other YouTubers did a race to see how fast they can beat the game with Mew. And Mew was able to beat the game pretty fast. Now this is Pokemon Yellow, so Brock's a little bit easier because Brock is lower level, but other things are harder in the middle and the late game. So I don't know, we'll see, and I'm kind of curious about that, but that's the next playthrough I'm going to be doing in Pokemon Blue. And then I have a optimized playthrough of Ursaring that we're going to be doing on Wednesday. I'm real excited about that because not only do we start out as Ursaring and not Teddy Ursa, we also have an egg move. I think this Pokemon's going to obliterate this game. This Pokemon came in, I think it landed at like 7th place on my leaderboard for Pokemon Crystal. And I think this Pokemon's going to absolutely just abolish and just dominate that time. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is JD, this is Polywool's Wrath. Let me know what you think. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.